Have you ever wondered what it's like to fly economy on Garuda Indonesia? In this video, I'll take you on a journey from Doha, Qatar to Jakarta in Indonesia on the Boeing 777 from Garuda Indonesia. And it's going to be a very pleasant flight. So in this video, you are about to see what it's like to fly on the Indonesian flag carrier in a almost empty plane, and we're going to check out the experience of Indonesian hospitality and Indonesian cuisine, which is very good. So we start our journey in a very familiar place, which is Doha, Qatar. So I actually booked this flight through Qatar Airways, and I had the option to either choose a Qatar Airways flight or a Garuda Indonesia flight. And as you guys know, I love to try new airlines, so this will be a very nice opportunity. So this is actually the second leg of my journey from Amsterdam, the Netherlands, to Jakarta in Indonesia to meet up again with my girlfriend Camila. So straight out of the gate from my previous Qatar Airways flight, I went straight into the Orchid indoor garden, as you can see right here, and it is a stunning place. This is the third time I've been here already, and still it blows my mind that they can just build this into an airport. It's actually really nice to spend some time here if you have a layover. So Doha Airport is actually not the worst place to stay in if you have a long layover. And this time it's only 3 hours, so I didn't have a hard time here. I managed to do some work, and I managed to check out a lot of stores and just enjoy some of the nice places around here. And actually there was only one thing that was annoying, and that is the thing which every aviation YouTuber adverts for: a VPN. It just didn't work here at this airport. I don't know what they did, but in some way the VPN just does not do anything here. And after a short layover, it was now time to get to our plane. So normally at Doha Airport, you can expect a bus ride of around 20 minutes, as this airport is huge, but this time it only took us like 5 minutes. And there it is, our 11-year-old Boeing 777 from Garuda Indonesia, which has been delivered new in 2013. So when I was checking out the specs, I actually figured out that this plane didn't fly for 3 years during the Corona crisis, and that it has only recently been reactivated. Alright, so I have boarded into the Garuda Indonesia Boeing 777, and I actually have the whole row of seats for myself. I was placed into the seat there, and I asked if I could have the window seat, and she said the whole aisle is free. So that's nice. After boarding and being seated, it was now time to check out what Garuda Indonesia has to offer. And besides the awkwardly placed footrest, at least for my size, the seats were actually really nice on this plane. And of course, we got treated with a nice pillow, a nice warm blanket, and some headphones. The screen though, as well as in my previous Qatar flight, was among the worst I have ever seen. So the touchscreen was very unresponsive, and you just really had to use the sort of remote control that comes into your seat, because it just doesn't really work.
Welcome on board Garuda Indonesia.
And after watching the very entertaining Garuda safety video, it was now time to head out from Doha on our way to Jakarta, Indonesia. So, and did you know that the dichromatic windows in the Dreamliner look actually really spooky at night, as you can see here on this Qatar Airways one. So after a pitch black takeoff from Doha, it was now time to get some sleep. I did however ask the flight attendant to wake me if there was any food served so that I can review it for you guys, of course. And for me, it actually was the first time of having an empty row of seats all for myself, and I have to say I really can get used to this. I finally had a good night of sleep. And after being woken up by the very friendly flight attendant, it was now time to check out the breakfast. And admittedly, the breakfast didn't look very nice, but it was actually really tasteful and very welcoming after a good night of sleep. And of course, after a good breakfast, it was now time to check out the... It's actually quite a nice toilet. And besides the dilarang jongkok, you could also find a nice toothbrush if you want to refresh on during the flight. And because this was an 8-hour flight, it was now time to get our lunch. And this time I had a very nice Nasi Ayam, which is a chicken rice recipe. And now it's time to get into further detail with the in-flight entertainment. And I have to say it's a shame that the touchscreen doesn't really work that well, because the in-flight entertainment system itself actually is really nice. It looks nice and they have a reasonable offer of movies and others. So besides the lagging touchscreen, I was amazed to see an onboard magazine from Garuda Indonesia itself, and I wish more airlines do this in their flights. And after 7 hours of flying, we finally arrived into Indonesian airspace. And would you look at these amazing views? And right now we're in for our final approach into Soekarno-Hatta International Airport in Jakarta, Indonesia. And after 8 hours of flying, we finally have arrived into Jakarta, Indonesia. And I actually spotted this very cool retro livery Airbus A330 with a 1969 retro special color, which is really cool. Right, so that was the first flight with Garuda, and I have to say, I'm impressed. It was a lot better than I expected. The crew was stellar, the service was perfect, the food was really good, and I was in the cockpit as well. That's nice. Whilst this was a very empty flight, you can always expect very high service quality in Garuda Indonesia, as well as very nice food, especially if you love the Asian Indonesian cuisine. This is really an airline you should try. So if you like these kind of videos, then please consider subscribing, because next time I'm going to upload another Garuda Indonesia video, but then a domestic flight from Jakarta to Bali, which was also a very nice flight. But that you can see in the next video. Thanks for watching and see you guys next time. Ciao!